Babwebanter, Babwebanter.
How's it, everybody? Welcome to Babwebanter, the World Cup edition. Just so you all know, this is our third take of this first section. We've had a few technicalities, but we're back and we're going to go through this again. Marshy, you're back again.
I'm back again. As we go through.
Tell everybody for the first time. Where have you been, Marshy?
So obviously I've been gallivanting on the eastern side of our beautiful country, and it's been fantastic. Yango was fantastic. Chimani, beautiful weather, awesome.
You were on Top Gear. I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
they do.
on Grand Tour.
Yeah,
I was
on
close.
the Grand Tour.
I was on a Grand Tour, which I just managed to pass their Grand Tour.
Yeah.
And if I had known, it just breaks my heart having to go through it again. That I didn't know it was them because I saw the entourage.
I'm sure they're very happy you didn't catch up with them.
Hey, don't you think for Babwebanter sneak peek through?
I'm going to show you a picture of one of my friends who actually caught up with him, and I want you to see. I want you to see Jeremy Clarkson's face. He's like. Jeremy's like,
I would love to have a photo of that.
How many Zimbas we're chasing after? Like, hey, Jeremy.
I don't care. I would love to have that photo to say I met you, man.
Yeah,
like, look,
you're so did my mate, and you'll see how that worked out.
And May and the whole crew, but it's so exciting also for Zimbabwe. Like, just so good for them to come in and great exposure. So. I'm sad that I didn't get to catch up with them, but just excited that they're in.
Next flight, Vic Falls, you're going to go say how's it to them?
Yeah, straight up now. I'll be in the bush. Like, Babwebanter.
There's Babwebanter, Marshy.
Get into my Zulu, my stoop. Get
your sticker.
Yeah.
And Jaja, how was your weekend? Good weekend?
Good weekend.
Box one,
got the job done.
Yeah. You cheesed off Mikey. It made him cold. Made him go and watch the game in the freezing cold.
Mike wasn't too happy about that. Half time he decided it's too cold at the drive-in.
It makes me feel warm inside. I'm so happy that he was uncomfortable.
Shout out to you, Mike, for attending the first half.
Yeah. So
and just a quick shout out to the Highlander as well for letting us come and record here.
The home of Babwebanter.
Yep. Yeah. And if you do want to come down Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday even, to watch a couple of the World Cup rugby games.
Yeah.
Very family friendly. Your kids can play outside.
Yeah.
Husbands, you can watch the sports while your wives watch the kids.
All right, so we're going to do a review of the Uruguay, Namibia game again. And I nearly did it again. Uruguay were shocked for the first 60 minutes. Namibia came out of the blocks. Let me turn it this way. They came out of the blocks firing. They really had a cracking start to the game.
And Namibia got that record for the quickest try scored in a Rugby World Cup tournament.
Last weekend.
The only record they've held thus far is not being able to win a game at a World Cup.
Who holds the record for the biggest score? I think it's Japan. 145-0. They got beaten by New Zealand. I think that's the record. I think we'll have to look back, but I do believe.
I believe that is it.
And that was when Japan were those kadiki short dudes. They look like Matabili child warriors.
Child warriors.
They've come a long way since then, have Japan. And anyway, so Uruguay managed to pull it back in the end. The 2 yellow cards, like we said, going down to 13 men just doesn't help anyone. I think they're going to learn that they need to pull themselves towards themselves and not give away those yellows. And I think everyone in the World Cup needs to learn that because they don't help. Yeah. And it really does affect your final score.
It's crazy. I mean, just for the viewers at home, if you're watching this on your laptop, on your phone, just have a look at these stats in terms of yellow cards and red cards this year's World Cup as opposed to 2019. Just have a look at the stats in terms of cards.
Yeah. All right, so then we go to Japan versus Samoa. I had Samoa to win. I had my back. I had the Samoan scrum half and fly half and Ben Lambs in mind, and the big names that Samoa do have in their infantry, and Japan coming with Nakaholo and all of their crew, really managed to pull one out of the bag. You had Japan, Robbie had Japan, I had Samoa, and I ended up with egg on my face. And you had Japan as well. So well done to Japan. They've really stepped up. Their forwards are huge. They played a very good game and they deserved it in the end. I think, like we said, Samoans just playing as individuals, not as a team. Like we said, problem being, I don't think Samoa plays enough rugby in a proper setup.
Yes.
I think they've had 8 games since the last World Cup, and I think as a unit now, they probably only had a couple of warm-up games leading up to this, and it's very hard to have that synergy.
As a team.
Coming into a new coach with, a coach that you're not coached by all the time, and having big name brands and trying to do everything yourself doesn't always work.
Absolutely.
Us as barbarians, we know what that's like, because I mean, if we took us as individuals, we'd win every match.
Absolutely. But that cohesion,
cohesion is massive. And then we go to New Zealand versus Italy, which was a nail biter from the toss. It was really close. Everyone was saying Italy had a chance. No Roger Woodward. They did not have a chance. They got Rogered. And it's a pity. But like we said, the last 5 minutes, they showed what they can do. Their backline really stepped up and showed a brilliant try. Brilliant pair of heels. And at least we know what they have got.
I honestly think the score, Matt, is because of everyone trolling on internet. I think New Zealand would have been nicer to Italy, but since everyone put it into Italy's mind, New Zealand decided to chase 400. So definitely a tough game.
Don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear.
And like we said, Aaron Smith, absolute
Clinical.
master.
Clinical.
Yeah.
Like Aaron said, you see the way he plays the game, the way he controls the game. Yes, the other scrummies when they come in, great. But Aaron, I think out of all the teams,
I mean, he even comes with a wooden spoon.
Yeah, it does come. Literally.
He even uses it to get the ball out of the 8th man's hand.
Putting it out of the 8th man's hand. Clinical, directing the games, communication, and it's just a testament of what a scrum half should be. So clinical game, and as we said, All Blacks. It was just this game for them was just like just playing around as a team and figuring out what's what, coming in there.
Jordan doing his thing. Aaron Smith 3 tries. I mean, they did very well.
And Cam Roygaard, honestly, it's just been phenomenal.
Well done
50
to him.
now, 9. I mean, this idea of guys playing multiple positions is...
and then we go to Argentina versus Chile, which was closer. Well, Argentina have stepped up. They really played well. Your guy was kicking from all over the show. What was it, 100? 100th game.
He's 100th game.
Yeah, he is a little master. He's the Aaron Smith of the game, a true legend. And Argentina have really stepped up their game. They are it'll be interesting this weekend coming up, showing what Argentina have done. They're starting to merge together, play very well together. They are the team that we thought they would be, and it's going to be great. Well done to them. Chile, unlucky. They tried, but it is what it is when you go up against the big guns. And then Fiji versus Georgia. Fiji playing a 7s game after doing so well in the previous games, proving that they can play 15s, went back to their
7 star.
Went back to the 7-star.
Shot themselves in the football.
Their number 13 scored an absolutely unbelievable try.
Yes, he did.
That was like one of the tries of the tournament. I mean, one hand, feet up,
bouncing offloads.
He is. I think it's the captain, is he? Is he? I think he's the captain.
No.
He's definitely one of the
He is
stand-up
definitely
men.
one of their stand-up.
And then the other stand-up man who won man of the match, the number 7, had a run down from the 22, handed off like the whole team. Flicked it inside, and they scored a beautiful try.
It was
at the end there.
It was
and showing what they can do when they play cohesively and what they, Georgia, stand up. Well done to them. Unbelievable effort. You said they left how many points out there?
22 points. 22 out there.
So if they had put that on, it shows what they can do. They are a real rugby nation, and well done to Georgia for making it really hard for Fiji.
Actually, you look at the game with that. I put down my notes. Islanders, Warriors versus Hard Knocks gangs of Georgia. That's how physical the game was. If you look at it, it was just
they were massive human beings.
Physical. I think if you watch the first half of the game, you really thought that Fiji's idea was like, we're going to just smash these Georgians, and you could see the Georgians
and run it ragged
and run it ragged, but that wasn't the case. And then, as you said, like my point here was Fijians should have, like the centers again playing a sevens game, should have passed it a couple of times wider than they had, and then playing off the mauls and scrums, that would have been perfect for them.
No mauling, nothing.
No mauling, and then Georgia's side of it as well. Just that last try, they nearly caused an upset.
Wow, that was a run, hey?
They didn't have the speed.
Fiji got the yellow card, and then they were down a player, and then they took the kick with like a minute to go, and then ran it from there 22 all the way, and it nearly went over
that play. And we're just trying to, and I guess we were looking at it and saying, maybe they passed the ball.
Screaming.
If they passed the ball, because he had two support runners.
Or if he had kicked it across.
Or he kicked it across. That was a sure done try, and there's.
Anyway, it shows how good they are, and it shows that the gaps between the teams aren't that big. And a shout out to the Fijian who had his son pass away.
Joshua Tuisova, his 7-year-old son, passed away on the Saturday just before they played Georgia.
And he's decided to stay with the squad and go through and wait to see if they go through. And he's going to miss that, and we're going to give him a shout out on Babwebanter.
He's had to miss his son's funeral, which was on Tuesday.
So anyway, shout out to him, and we're sorry, big man. And what you do for the game is very special and unbelievable, and thank you for being such a sport, and we're so sorry for your loss. And that being said, we'll end segment 1 on that sad note, and a big out to the man for putting rugby first, the beautiful game. And also a shout out to the South African and Tongan side who prayed after the game together. It just really showed how teams that after a real big fight shows you that we can stand together, and what a beautiful game rugby is.
Absolutely.
You won't see soccer players doing that. Just saying. But touching moments from the Rugby World Cup, and we'll see you in segment 2. Welcome back, everybody, to Babwebanter, the Rugby World Cup show. Right, we're on segment 2 now. We've got a review of Scotland versus Romania. JJ, how was that game?
Shame for Romania. They just got blown out of the park from the get-go. Scotland did really well. I think they scored 12 tries in that game. They just ran away with it. Quite a hard game the first 8 minutes. Romania got their defense in there, held Scotland back, but
8 minutes.
8 minutes. That was literally it. And then Scotland broke those walls.
Okay. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. I just have to say, Darcy Graham. Darcy Graham.
6 tries.
4 actually, but 4. Brilliant. But he did assist 2 as well. So all in all, you can say 6. But just phenomenal. His runs, his lines. You know, as a backline player, that's what you want to see from a 14. Just running through. Like, kudos to any guys in the amateur league or anything. Darcy Graham, watch that game. His running was beautiful. Obviously, Scotland
reminds you of a young Marshy, running through the touch rugby field there.
How's the game? Back in the day, when I had youth. Because exactly what. No hands off, just beautiful lines in between. But it does remind us.
Yourself. Nice, Marshy.
Definitely. But with that, I want to chuck it out to the Babwebanter thing. Is obviously with this win, there's a lot of conspiracies coming out there. You guys being Boca supporters, I'm just letting you know what's out there is this keeps Scotland in the running for qualifiers, which we all thought was a no-brainer for Ireland beating Scotland. But if they do conspire, that those are the airing conspiracies out there. If they deconspire,
Can they beat Ireland?
if they conspire with Ireland,
They can. If they conspire. I don't think they can just do it. Even with Darcy Graham.
I mean,
Marsh,
you know, it's
you
Ireland's
say
looking good. Yeah,
you
but
say
yeah.
that to our viewers out there. Just have a look at this picture. Tell us what you think the conversation is between these two. Let us know in the comments what you think. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one with Scotland taking on Ireland this weekend.
Yes.
Game of the weekend, eh?
That and then Japan, Argentina.
Yeah,
so
Japan,
there's two big
Argentina
ones
as well.
because
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
both
big
playing.
one,
yeah.
Although Scotland's third in the pool,
Yeah.
they could take top spot if
Yeah.
they
If
get
they beat
4
Ireland.
tries with a bonus point.
Yeah.
But Ireland only need a losing bonus point to qualify, and then South Africa's going home.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. So then we go to Australia versus Portugal. And Portugal played very well.
Portugal played well.
Yeah.
Having said that, Australia just didn't show up like
Yeah.
they should have
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
a much weaker team.
Yeah.
That's unlike Australia at the moment.
Well,
Yeah, they are proving that all of the doubters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely proving them. I think, they should just pack their bags and jump onto Qantas.
shame, and that win against Portugal just gives them that little bit of hope.
Yeah.
But then all Fiji have to do is lose and get a bonus point, a losing bonus point, and they qualify, and then Australia's out.
Yeah.
And let's hope Fiji can take back the normal game plan and not try and play that seven style of play.
Yeah.
They did this last weekend. Fiji have obviously they will review it. They do all their homework, and hopefully this weekend they can bring back what they did in the beginning.
Yeah.
On the beginning games, yeah. South Africa versus Tonga. Henry Pollard is back, and Mane Libbok's foot is back. You know what happened? So he gets someone starting in front of him, and then he decides to learn how to kick.
I think with Mane Libbok, it's a pressure thing. So if you start in Mane Libbok, it's his first kick. If he misses that, he's thrown off his game completely. Whereas Andre Pollard was in the squad. He started. He got, I think, 3 conversions, all through the sticks. And when Mane Libbok came on,
There was no
my
pressure.
initial thought was, no, please.
Yeah.
But he just followed from where Andre Pollard left off.
Maybe when they're in training and they're kicking together, he's got a bit to say to him, and they're learning from
Yeah.
each other. And also having someone like Pollard who's been to so many World Cups, who's been there from like the beginning, from the under-19 World Cup, having someone like that next to you to train you and teach you and just say, listen, calm down. This is how we're going to do it. And they're running it. They work together.
Yes.
I'm sure they must do because they want to win and they're going to help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Reinach again, brilliant skills.
Wow,
Eh? That guy.
just his rugby
Just-
knowledge to know that no one's paying attention, as well as the ref, and knowing that the ref hasn't blown. Went back 10 meters to collect the ball, came back, took the quick tap and go.
Yeah.
He is a try-scoring machine.
He is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they seem to have them in South Africa at the moment.
And his awareness is beautiful.
Yeah.
Just something that needs to be said again and again. There is lacking in that, but it's so nice when you see a player that's just so aware of like what's cutting and just going for it.
Is coming back.
Yes.
When everyone said, "Oh, he got injured," I was like, "Oh, I know exactly who's coming on the next plane." Actually, like, yeah, but he's on Supersport at the moment. I was like, "Yeah, but he's going to be on Supersport next weekend."
They probably brought him on Supersport panel so he could keep an eye on what's happening with the players.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's pity about that injury to Mapimpi.
Yeah.
His World Cup is done. But
South Africa have enough wins.
they have a like-for-like replacement.
They do. And they've even got some scrum halves that can do the job as well.
Yep.
They do.
Yeah.
Grant Williams played on the wing this last game against Tonga.
And he does very well.
And he looked very
And how good was Dwayne Vermeulen's defense against Big Ben Tameifuna? You got a 155 kg prop running at you full tilt.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Dwayne Vermeulen is a rock. He
Yes.
is, in my eyes, he has to start at 8.
Yes.
He is the best player they've got.
Yes.
And that's why he won player of the tournament last time. And he hasn't lost it.
Yeah.
If anything, he's as good as he's ever been.
Definitely.
And he definitely proves that it is because we always look at size. The strength is so important.
And brain.
That's so important.
Because even if they kick a ball back and the fullback is in line, Dwayne Vermeulen is at fullback.
Yeah.
His brain is a perfect eighth man's brain. He understands exactly what's going on.
Like ideally, he's a perfect one for anyone who's a backline who's ever played with the eighth man who's aware like he is.
Yeah, no, he's exactly what you need. Yeah, because you can join the line and you know that he's going to be there. He'll always look back and know he's going to cover for you.
Yeah.
So well, it'll be interesting. They've stepped up. I think he has to start. They've got the right guy. Coming through. And like I said, the loss to Ireland then allowed Rassie to say, right, this gives me my chance to say to everyone, you guys weren't the ones that are going to take us there. I'm going to bring in the few changes, and you and people as a whole can't judge me for bringing back the Dwaynes and the Pollards and the and everything else, because we gave you your chance. You didn't do it, and now we're going to show you what is going to win the World Cup. We're going back to the old, so it'll be interesting to see. And then after the break, we're going to come back and we're going to view what's coming up. So we'll catch you all after this break. See you now. Babwebanter, segment 4, guys. We've got the pool qualifiers coming up and the permutations of what's going to happen there. JJ, why don't you walk us through some of that? So on Thursday, which is tomorrow, we have got New Zealand versus Uruguay, which is going to be a nail-biter straight off the bat, maybe from the toss, and then it could get a bit harder from there. What do you think?
A bit harder for Uruguay, probably.
Oh, not New Zealand, eh? You reckon they've got this one in the bag?
They should have this one in the bag.
Yeah, they should. Uruguay, but I don't know if New Zealand have enough scrum offs to make it that exciting. But it should be pretty good, eh?
Well, we'll see what Smith and Roygard can come up with this weekend.
But
I think Ian Foster's going to do. He's going to have a lot of changes, give other guys a run, because this is. It's going to be a walkover. So he'll give other guys a run, probably start Sam Cane, because Cane hasn't started any of the World Cup games. He's come off the bench, but he hasn't done a full... I don't think Kane's done more than 30 minutes.
Well, we all know what Cane does. He's a rock. He's a hard tackler. He is solid. I know a lot of people say it's boring and he doesn't have whatever it takes, but I mean, he is hard. He's clinical. And he's fit. And he's clinical. So I'm sure New Zealand have that one. So your Super Brew is on...
New Zealand.
New Zealand, obviously being a New Zealand boy, eh? All right, and then on Friday, we've got France versus Italy, which will be, we know Italy nearly beat New Zealand last weekend. It's going to be in the last, if you take out the last, the 79 minutes of the game. Yeah, they had them.
Mind you, France, Italy, a grudge match from, I think these two played each other.
Are we going to do this again? Are we really going to say Italy might have a chance? No, let's not give Roger Woodward that opportunity to even think that he's got a chance. Roger, you don't have a chance. You're going to get Rogered. Okay, so we're just going to put that out there. Super Brew, we're going with France, all of us. Saturday, we've got Wales versus Georgia, which will be a lot harder than I think Wales are anticipating. Georgia played a bloody good game the last weekend. They scrummed, they tackled, they did everything, and I think their tails will be up. They know that they can bring it to them, and I honestly think if Wales come in with a second team or a lesser team,
which they will do.
Will they?
I'm sure they'll rest a couple of their players leading up to the playoffs. But remember, Georgia played Fiji last week.
Yes.
And although Fiji won, I think it was 17-12. Georgia left 22 points out there. They were denied a try.
They were denied a try,
So if they did cash in all those points,
they would have definitely. And Georgia has been looking stronger and stronger with each game, and that last game was physical. So if Wales doesn't come into this game, if they just think it's an easy walkover, it might be an upset.
And it's all thanks to the Mzansi challenge. Georgia as well as the Goshawks are part of that in South Africa, which is the second division.
So what you're saying is that Georgia are so good because they have to play against the mighty Goshawks.
The mighty Goshawks.
Yeah, so that's why.
That's where it is.
Yeah. Okay, well now we know.
Somebody's got to test them.
Somebody has to tell them what. So that's why they know what's coming up. Yeah, very good. All right. Then after that, so again, Super Brew, we're all going with Wales, but maybe Georgia. I mean,
that's gonna.
Let's just see what Wales come up with. But I think I'll stick with Wales for my Super Brew. But
I will too. I'll stick with Wales.
They have stepped up lately. It just depends what they come up with. So that'll be interesting. Then we've got England versus Samoa. Now, this will be interesting to see if Samoa can come back and actually play as a team. Because I know they've had these incidents where they've lost because of that, but surely they can pull one together and try. I know England are coming in hot. I don't know if they're going to try play a second team or they're just going to go.
I think England will probably put a second team in simply because they've already qualified. And then for spot number 2 is Argentina and Japan. So not both of them can't go through. It's one of them, but they're playing each other. So England have basically qualified, so they've got the luxury of...
But they're not going to want to lose, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're not going to want to lose, but they've got the luxury of England, and the luxury of putting in a second team, and whether they get beaten or not, they still qualify.
Agreed.
All right, well, I'm still going to put my Super Brew on England for that one. I hope Samoa can play a bit better because we know we love the Islanders. We love the fact that
being their last game, they're going to
chuck everything out there. And if they, like we said, they put a second team in there and they put everything out there, it could be an upset. But I'm also going with England.
And then Ireland, Scotland, which is big one.
That's the game of the weekend.
That is the game of the weekend.
Not only does it determine which one of them qualifies, but if they both get enough points, Springboks will probably go home if they both get enough points.
And that also decides who plays New Zealand or France.
So we're just going to say that our Super Brews are going to be for Ireland. Because, but we do know that Scotland, the Brave, can step it up, and they are one of those teams that can spoil anything. I mean, they nearly did it to South Africa. If their fly half has a cracking game, they are exceptionally good. And you said their wing
Darcy
Graham. So if he does what he does, it could be very interesting. So let's see how that goes. Your Super Brew is going to go with who?
Oh, it's juicy. I think they'll come down to the last minute because
pick one, Marshy.
I think I'll go with Scotland. Just to
nice.
upset the odds.
So we can come back and review that on next weekend and see how that went, because that's going to be a juicy guy. And then the second one of the weekend, which is another massive one, is Japan versus Argentina. Japan stepping up the game, coming off a win, coming off a number of wins. Argentina going to front up. They've also got big forwards also coming into their own. I honestly think that Argentina are going to have the brute force in the end. Their team is really gelling well together. They've got their big forwards. They've got everyone kicking well. I think they've got it.
I think realistically Argentina should take it, but I hope Japan cause them upset. It will be nice to see
hope
Japan.
They cause it. So your Super Brew is going to go...
I've got Argentina.
He's playing it safe. It's like
and I think I would too. But I know Japan are going to come and they're going to give it.
They're going to come.
It's going to be like 60 minutes of brilliant rugby, and then I think it'll.
I don't mind using up on the Super Brew on this one. If Japan cause an upset, it would be nice to see them go through to the playoffs.
So interesting times.
But it's interesting how Japan. We talked about recently with some guys. Even though with all the underdogs coming in, and we're so happy for Fiji and stuff like that, but Japan, ever since they beat Springboks, I know it's a painful topic, but ever since then, have you noticed they've always been like the underdog favorites? Like when they come in, it was like Japan,
and everyone loves their fans, and they love their history, they love the sport, and after the World Cup in Japan, everyone loves Japan. They are such good sports fans and everything that goes with it, and they're a bunch of humble people, so it's nice. It is nice. So then we go to Tonga versus Romania, which is also going to be, I think, a harder game. Tonga are going to go for them. I mean, they've got some big boys. And Romania, this is their one chance to just spoil. I mean, they can. Let's see what they can do against a slightly lesser team. And if Tonga don't play as a team, I think they're going to really see how Romania are.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think Tonga are just going to have it. Yeah. So Super Brew goes to Tonga on that one.
Yeah.
Fiji versus Portugal. I think that is going to be also very good. I know Fiji will probably come away with it, but we thought that against Uruguay. I mean, it was harder than we thought.
Yeah.
So Portugal do have it in them to play a very good game. They've got some good kickers. They've got a brilliant eighth man.
Yeah.
So they can bring it on. And if Fiji play that stupid game, that game plan of that seven that they did last weekend, I really think they can make it hard for themselves. They need to start mauling, playing 15-a-side rugby as they have been, and stick with their guns.
Absolutely.
And we'll see how that goes. So Super Brute to Fiji, but let's see what happens there.
I think all the Australians are watching that Fiji-Portugal.
Portugal game.
What do they want? Portugal to win?
They want Portugal.
Portugal to win.
So last week, the Aussies were Aussie Pete. And he got the whole crowd behind Georgia because that's what the Aussies really wanted. So this week they're really hoping Portugal can.
Australia, you suck, and nothing you ask for is going to help you. We don't want that. We don't want you to get in due to, failures. Prove yourself. You've lost everything. Just stay lost.
Indeed.
And then we go to. I mean, even your own people are saying it, so we may as well say it as well.
Wow.
Who has qualified as it stands, JJ? Walk us through that. This is your list. What are you saying here?
Pool A, you've got France and New Zealand, but New Zealand on 10 points. Italy are also on 10 points. So if Italy could cause an upset this weekend, they could take second spot.
Okay.
But of course, New Zealand's going to thump Uruguay, so they'll be at the top anyway. If they beat France, not even with a bonus point, if they beat France and get the 4 points, then France could not go home but stay home. Pool B, you've got South Africa at the top with 15 points. Ireland on 14 points and Scotland on 10. Scotland will have to beat Ireland by 4 tries, so they get the bonus point to make it 5. But also they've got to win by 21 points, so that they are ahead on points difference. And if they manage to do that, Ireland just need to get.
And let's be honest, that game's going to be close. To get it that far away, I really doubt it. And like you said, unless it's a conspiracy theory.
So if they do that, Ireland just need a losing bonus point, and they both qualify. Springboks go back home.
And most people are just saying it's as simple as. It's not as simple as. This World Cup has become very complicated.
It has, especially towards the.
We understand it. It's like a Zimbabwean currency, It's like RTGS and dealing in US dollar, and you've got the gold coins. You've got, it's all over the show. You just don't know what currency you're dealing with at the moment. Which is pretty exciting.
Then Pool C, you've got Wales, the top of their pool, Australia in second, and Fiji third. But again, Fiji just need a losing bonus point. And I'm sure they'll win against Portugal. Australia, the hope is still there, probably up until Sunday night, and then
there's no more hope.
That's them done. And then Pool G, you've got England, who've already qualified, and then Argentina second, Japan third. And the game of the weekend, probably other than Ireland, Scotland, will be Japan, Argentina, because they play each other, and only one of them can take second spot. So
that'll be a crack.
It will be. And I think they're going to throw everything at it because this is for qualifiers.
Very true. And look, they've been chasing the record this whole time. If it wasn't for the first game, which I wasn't there for, and I've heard everyone talk about it, against Wales, they would have been through by now. So
interesting times. We've got a great weekend of rugby coming up. So if you guys are around this weekend, you can come down to the Highlander, watch some of the rugby, and just enjoy it. And then you can give us some feedback on our social media platforms and let us know if there's anything else you want us to do. We are going to have a cricket guru on the show next week with the World Cup cricket starting tomorrow, JJ. And we'll start working on both of them at the same time, and then hopefully we'll have a bit more content. And I hope you guys enjoy the cricket. And we will catch you guys next week from the Highlander, from Marshy, and from JJ, from all of us at Babwebanter. Thank you very much, and hope you guys have a cracking weekend. Just enjoy. Babwebanter.